fate. I have a voice that is my savior. Hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to rule your fate. I hear voices crying. I see heroes dying. I taste blood that's trying. I feel tension rising. I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me. They talk to me. They tell me things that I will do. They show me things I'll do to you. They talk to me. They talk to me. All the doctors are disease, and the preachers are sinners, and police just take the green.
And welcome back to an episode of Ministry Truth. I am your only host on the show, the first show of 2026, I believe. And, well, why not? Let's start off with something new. Just kidding. Nothing's going to change from what you see me do last year. Same exact shit, except for maybe a few tweaks to my streams. It's okay. It's okay. So, we're going to talk about two different subjects today. One that I meant to do, before the new year started. But it's okay, because it's only been getting worse and worse and worse for the Somali community. Not my problem. Not your problem. And we shouldn't care. But it actually is our problem if you pay taxes. If you expect childcare. If you're on welfare. If you're on government subsidies. Because, well, they've been wasting it and sending it to Somalia. One person even used it to run for maybe mayor of Somalia. In a city of Somalia. Weird. I know it is weird. But before we get started, you already know the deal. I'm not telling you to go get your shit anymore. At this point, you already know. New year, new shit. Same shit, depending if I feel like it that day. But before we get started, we're going to talk about Venezuela. If y'all haven't heard, you're about to hear now. Because I woke up and I was like, what is this message? No way. No fucking way. But before we get to that, obviously we're going to start off with the music video. So, whatever you need to do to get ready, go get ready. And we'll begin.
And on late night TV, where the comics usually play things for laughs, they are not being coy about how they feel about Trump's win.
It was a terrible night for women, for children.
Well, it happened again.
It can't be real. It can't be real.
Like, we're just gonna wake up tomorrow morning and it'll be like a really bad dream.
Look at the Democrat Party rapidly entering the abyss. Fake news tries so hard to cover it all up. Can you ignore it? Can you dismiss it? Dream if you can, a country, the absence of violence and gloom. Endless, right, curious stories that feel the beast between me and you. How can the Dems still be standing? Each of them bought and sold. Maybe they just need new branding. Maybe they just miss Obama too old. Maybe they just miss Kamala. She wasn't qualified. Look at them scream at each other. This is what it sounds like when Dems cry.
Kamala. She was qualified. She was a black woman. Jamaican woman. Oh man, I still got like a whole nother minute of that song. Oh, 2 minutes of that song. No.
Miranda, can you step?
No. So last week, someone just happened to have a live stream where they were showing a certain person in the community who I believe also threatened to shoot up a school. Decided she wanted to post a message towards the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Well, I thought this would, apparently this would catch on because you threaten the President of the United States. You're going to become famous, so to speak, especially if, there's body cam. Everybody, enjoy. This is not from the stream that I shot on from originally. This is from a mainstream streamer, Salty Cracker. Some of you may know this person. Some of you may not. Welcome.
I need to talk to you.
Why?
Because about the text messages you've been saying.
There's no one called Miranda.
Abe, Christmas 2025. Doesn't give up, right? Keeps on delivering the hits. This video, for example, is fantastic. I've seen a number of people, they get a door knock. Like the Krasson teens, they get a door knock for threatening to kill the president. And I'm like, man, how come no one gets arrested? Well, this chick got arrested.
Good.
And there's police cam video. So join me as we end 2025 with the look of regrets. Regrets and
No regrets, guys. No regrets.
Terrible over your Facebook post about Trump leads to unexpected police visit. Why would that be unexpected?
Well, I think she's kind of retarded by looking at her.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Can't wait to see the Hodge
Mexico, you can't. What are you talking about? No, I can come over here. Orange man rapist, so I threatened to kill him. It's fine. No, you're gonna get door knocks, sweetheart. And they recorded it for my good pleasure and yours.
Yes.
Delicious. Wind it back. Like when she opens the door. The Mexican Oompa Loompa over here, Abe. This chick tiny.
Miranda, can you step out and
Miranda.
talk to you?
Why?
Because about the text messages you've been saying.
From where?
I guess from you. Come here.
So Miranda over here. Hey Trump. Quote. Again, this is her post saying, don't arrest me, Secret Service. Don't door knock me. Hey Trump, I'ma go to your golf course. Why is golf capitalized,
Well,
Dave?
first of all, when I noticed this the other day, he's laughing because the word golf is capitalized, but she meant to say golf course. She spelled golf, G-U-L-F, golf, not golf. I mean, I could see how they can be confused, but if you know the difference in what the words mean, it matters. It matters.
Well, help me here, brother. What is... Hey, Trump. I'm going to go to the Gulf of America course and be the next shooter lol on board. Be there soon.
And that was dumb.
Stupid. But you got to check in on stupid people. Stupid people will do stupid things. And while you're at it, make sure that Miranda Rico Perez is here legally. Check all this chick's paperwork, man.
Ooh.
Who's here with you?
My kids and me?
Anybody else?
What am I doing? I ain't doing nothing though.
What am I doing?
I'm not doing nothing.
She ain't
I
doing
got
nothing.
to the woods.
She ain't doing nothing, boys.
Hey, tell Mama,
What did I do?
Miranda, listen to the words we're saying.
What did I do?
It sounds like a midget Rosie Perez. What did I do?
She does.
You threatened to kill the president. Yeah, I'm allowed to
A
do
fat
that. No,
midget
you're not.
Perez.
What? This is crazy. Put a shirt on, by the way.
Here are the kids.
What did I do?
You have a
My
warrant
landlord's here. Please don't do this. Hey, who's yelling?
Who's you?
What
You're
did I
yelling.
do? Please stop. I didn't do nothing.
Can you listen?
What did I do?
Can you listen?
What did I do?
You have a warrant for written threats.
Written threats of what? Can I see from who?
She did do
I
nothing.
will let you
Yeah.
talk.
From who?
She can't even
It was
breathe.
just on social media. It was a joke.
You gotta take a picture of her titties. That's
Can I get my mask and
disgusting.
stuff, please?
No one,
just her.
It was just a joke, guys.
What is
Jokke.
Can I get my shoes, please?
Yes, can we?
Can I get my phone and stuff?
Can we call your dad? You do that now.
What did I do? I didn't do nothing in my landlord here.
Thank you.
What did I do though? What did I
What? Look at what? Is this real? What is happening here, Abe? These guys are cracking up. They're cracking up. This guy who just took a picture of her titties, the shaking hands. Good job, Sheriff. There you go. Now look at this. Stupid bitch.
They killed my dog.
They killed my dog.
Killed your dog.
Who killed your dog? What?
That's the ATF.
He's dead. What is happening here?
Listen, make it. I'm helping you out here. I'm gonna let you make it short, okay? Don't make this a big deal.
She's already short.
It's embarrassing because my landlord, man.
I got you. We'll explain it to him. Explain him so you don't get in trouble, okay?
I want to get kicked out.
We'll talk.
Let me pay
I
my
think
man.
he's on here. Go ahead.
Oh, he's blocking me. Wait. Hang up. Okay,
Try one time.
wait.
The landlord's blocking her. The landlord knows that this bitch should be crazy. He needs a check from this chick every month, and he's still blocking her. What is this chick up to with her dead dog? By the way, she calmed down. She got that shirt on, and she goes, "Oh, I guess my dog's not dead anymore." What the fuck? This whole thing is wild. There you go. Anyway, so Dad, you're gonna need to come to the policías and get me. Send Grandpa too. Yeah. Wild. That's my. What? What?
It's always fun to see somebody from within the community do bigger and better things and show up on, national body cam footage. She's moving up in the world. Now she gets a free place to stay, 3 hots and a cot, and she gets to be with other friends. With friends. She's probably out on bail right now. Matter of fact, she's Hispanic, so they'll probably let her go. Unless she's illegal. Is Miranda illegal? So those that you don't know, I'm going to show you this video. This was posted by Nicolas Maduro like 2 days ago, 3 days ago. And I was watching, it's like, oh, I'm going to show this because basically he's saying he wants to bend the knee if Trump worked with him. Well, he kind of saw something coming, didn't he? Oh, this guy was a legitimate president. He failed.
Nosotros hemos tenido, Ramón, una sola conversación. Él me llamó el viernes 21 de noviembre desde la Casa Blanca estaba. Y yo estaba en el Palacio
only
Miraflores.
spoken to Trump once,
Conversamos 10
10
minutos
minutes.
y fue una conversación, como yo he dicho, respetuosa,
But
muy
respectful.
respetuosa,
¿Qué le dijo el
cordial.
presidente? ¿Qué le dijo el presidente Trump?
Lo primero que me dijo Mr. President Maduro.
Excelente.
Y yo le dije, Mr. President Donald Trump. Y creo que fue hasta agradable
Pleasant
esa
conversation.
conversación. Pero de ahí las evoluciones post conversación no han sido agradables. Esperemos. Y al pueblo de Estados Unidos, yo le digo lo que le he venido diciendo. Aquí en Venezuela tiene un pueblo hermano. Al pueblo de Estados
He
Unidos,
saw the writing on
inclusive
the
le
wall.
digo, aquí tienen a un gobierno amigo. Empezar a conversar en serio, con datos en la mano. Y el gobierno de Estados Unidos lo sabe, porque se le hemos dicho a muchos de sus voceros que si quieren
Venezuela used to be
conversar
one of the top
seriamente,
producing oil countries in the world. And I think we put sanctions on them when Maduro took over.
De un acuerdo de combate contra el narcotráfico, estamos listos. Que si quieren petróleo de Venezuela, está lista Venezuela para
He wants
inversiones
to open the
estadounidenses como
markets
con
to
Chevron.
oil.
Cuando quieran, donde quieran y como quieran.
Yo, that's so funny. Remember this monument. Remember that monument. We're going to talk about that one in a little bit. Nicolas Maduro 2 days ago saying, America, we are friendly. Look at what we got. Hey, you think it'd be cool if you open your markets, the world markets, to our oil? I mean, you all had that option when Trump was president last time. Oh, and I guess fireworks. New Year's came a little bit late in Venezuela, about 2 days late. But it's okay, better late than never. And the United States helped set up the great fireworks display that they had at 2:30 this morning. Isn't that pretty? Great display. They're just like aliens coming from a spaceship trailer. Check this shit out. Right out of the clouds.
Están cayendo los misiles. Están cayendo los misiles. Están cayendo los misiles en Higuerote.
So they were taking out air base with anti-aircraft.
Hay un bombardeo.
Ok, levanta la vaina.
Good thing it was a Friday or Saturday morning. People were still clubbing. If that's allowed in Venezuela. Oh! Here it comes.
Vamos bien.
Here you go. Is this where the sky opens up?
Mira allá, mira el quemado.
Stop screaming. It's attacking the airport.
Explosiones, ¿dónde están? Ay, sí.
They're calling the police. What are they gonna do?
Mira, allá. Mamá, ¿qué están lanzando? ¿Por qué? ¿En dónde?
Why?
Ya.
You know why.
¿Dónde? Coño. Pero en todas partes no iban a ser unos puntos específicos.
We literally had boots on the ground and they still couldn't stop us. It was the United States Army SOCOM in full force.
Ay, no encuentro el teléfono.
Delta Force and 160th. Fucking shit up.
Mira. Coño, no logro entrar a los grupos. No sé, mamá, estoy grabando aquí. Puedes ir. Ay, qué miedo. Y aquí se ve una explosión por
She really
allá
trying to
y
call
se
the
ve el
police?
humo de algo que
What is she
explotaron
supposed
por
to say? I
allá.
saw bombs going off in the
Qué
distance.
miedo, se escuchan. Oh, Dios mío, qué miedo.
160th, ladies and gentlemen. 2 Black Hawk helicopters, 2 Chinook. And 2 more Black Hawks. 3 more Black Hawks. Dropping their payloads off. Fuck you guys.
Mamá, huevo, qué locura. Moscaí. Mira esa mierda, explotaron allá toda esa mierda porque tú me estás explotando.
Mierda, marico, se prendió el peo en esa mierda.
Don't forget we have Air Force or aircraft in Honduras. But if this is 160th, they probably came out of Georgia, since they're the
Marico,
closest.
llegamos a tiempo a la casa, yo.
Marico, mira esa mierda.
Imagine being on the ground seeing that shit. That is amazing. Especially when there's air support for you. The full
If you're just
power of the military. That's just the Army Special Operations. That's not Navy. That's not the SEALs. It's not PJs. Well, PJs wouldn't really do something like that because they're just rescue. And, well, the Marines, they think their Raiders or their MARSOC is really special ops, but most of them got grandfathered in. They didn't have to go through a selection process.
waking up this morning, we are following breaking news. President Trump announcing the capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro overnight during a large-scale U.S.
The thing that makes me wonder is they not only captured him, but they also took his wife. Now, why would that be interesting? Well, to me, yes, they're going to put him on trial up in the Southern District of New York, but is he really going to ever see the courtroom? Or was there a deal in place to maybe get him out of there so the country could return? Although they're going to tell you, well, the country's going to go into destabilization. Well, that's not what the opposition leader and the vice president over there are saying.
Military operation.
President Trump confirming the dictator, along with his wife, are now in U.S. custody after being flown out of the country. Maduro facing federal drug trafficking charges, and he will stand trial here in the U.S.
Video shows explosions rocking the capital of Caracas and surrounding states early this morning, and low-flying U.S. Special Operations helicopters were seen flying over the region. President Trump, who's calling it a brilliant operation, is expected to address the nation at 11 a.m. Eastern from Mar-a-Lago.
Lucas Tomlinson joins us now from West Palm Beach, Florida, where the commander-in-chief has been spending the holidays.
Dude, look at this dude's head. Well, the guy on the left, too.
Good morning, Charlie. This is what we know.
How much hairspray you got in there?
Operation under the cover of darkness at 2 a.m. local time in Caracas. Special Operations Forces like the full Silver Bullet package, the National Mission Force, that would be Delta Force, the 75th Ranger Regiment, and perhaps SEAL Team 6 were
I'm sorry. Did he say 75th Ranger Regiment? Did he say the 75th Ranger Regiment? I don't know. I think I heard it. Might have misheard it.
Launched from helicopters of the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, the Night Stalkers, to assault the compound where Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife were sleeping. President Trump confirming the operation in a post on Truth Social. I'll read it for you guys. Posted earlier this morning. The president said, quote,
"Oh, no Truth post? Oh, Fox fucked up. Fox fucked up."
Anyway, the president said this operation was a successful operation launched from the United States military to assault the compound and to snatch Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife. The president calling it a law enforcement operation. He says the president says he'll hold a press conference at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago, where we should hear.
So if it's a law enforcement operation, did the NYPD swoop in to help? Did the NYPD come in to help? I have questions. I'm just asking questions.
More details about this operation. And this comes after months of threats from President Trump saying he will be launching strikes on land. And we just heard on Monday when the president...
Just think about that. Their leader is gone. Their leader's gone. What are they going to do now? Oh shit, they came into the country in the dark of night and just took our president. Should we continue to fuck with them? That's probably not a good idea. What if we get the rest of South America involved? I'm talking from Venezuela's point of view. What do the people of Venezuela think? What do Venezuelans think? Well, they're not going to address that.
The CIA had carried out that drone strike ashore in Venezuela. And, of course, he had said that Nicolas Maduro's time what needed to come to an end. We heard that interview with the Venezuelan president just yesterday, guys. He
In a New Year's review I did for someone, I literally said, in 2026, all good things come to an end. Isn't that right, Nicolas Maduro? Oh my God, I've been predicting the future for the past 3 days.
sounded almost desperate, saying he wanted to have conversations with the Trump administration, talking about making a deal. He did not want to. He wanted to get out of the drug business. He also wanted to make a deal on oil and have it, and perhaps have President Trump allow American companies outside of Chevron to go back into.
I didn't know Chevron still got oil.
This assault on the compound was carried out under secrecy, under the darkness of night, and clearly incredible intelligence to know exactly where the Venezuelan president was located, guys.
So you mean to tell me they knew where he would be? Exactly where he would be? Huh. Almost like they were told by somebody on the inside. Maybe Maduro himself. Maybe. It just seems kind of fishy that Maduro put out that video, and now this, and now this. Because at one point, they were talking about how to get him out of there and what to do with him. On the down low. And then this came about. That's why I'm saying it seems kind of fishy. But let's go back to Venezuelans. Well, I'm not going to talk to Venezuelans. That's in Chile. Those Venezuelans look pretty happy. Huh. And again,
Gabriela Arzola. She is joining us live from Doral. She is outside of Arepaso, which we know is the mecca of the Venezuelan community there. And Gabby,
seems pretty busy behind you, Gabby. It's 6 a.m.
They look pretty excited back there.
Have been out there. Can you tell us about what you're seeing?
I bet you they love Donald Trump.
Seeing people out there reacting to this news.
Guys, history is being made in real time. There are hundreds of people here
Dude,
in
imagine.
Arepaso, which, like you said, has been the.
Since I know the opposition leader is like pretty much a female Trump, if she gets elected, if they do another election, will they start taking back their gang members and putting them in their own prison? Think about that. We get oil, we get rid of Tren de Aragua, and they get a different president. Now, are they going to do the democratic way and elect their president, or are we going to install a president? Kind of like we did with Ukraine. Look how that worked out.
For Venezuelans speaking out against injustices in their country for decades. I'm here joined by Edgar. Edgar has been here since he was 11 years old, born and raised in Venezuela, out here since early this morning. Tell me, why did you want to be out here?
Well, okay, before I begin, I just want to talk to you, America, and I hope you have your coffee when I tell you this.
I did.
These are great news. All eyes on Venezuela. These are historic.
See? Even he wants you to get your coffee. It's not just me. It's not just me. But I love this fucking hat.
News. This is history in the making. I mean, my chest, it feels like it's gonna explode with joy. Because before I was even, there have been struggles. My family has been fighting for so many years. Before I was even here, they have told me about it. They told me about a time where democracy existed, and now I can finally look forward to that. And that's just everything that I can ask for. And
everything.
I just want to tell you people, America, Venezuelans are good people. The greatest people that I know, I can vouch for them. We are good.
Well, you are one.
We are working hard, and this is our President Donald Trump and Maria Corina Machado just created an opportunity for us to begin working harder than ever, because that's what we have always been doing. But now we will be working in our country. But we also have worked so hard here in the United States to build so much things. And I just want to thank you, America. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to work.
Absolutely.
Wow.
There's a lot of pride that comes with Venezuela.
All you had to do was take out the dictator.
This flag, just like this, for his college graduation in the University of Florida, just to show you how much love there is for this country that has gone through so much for so long. Being here has been incredible. People are dancing, people are cheering, and we've been here so many times, Christian, like you said in the past, when there have been so many issues, and they would cheer, "Si se puede, si se puede." Now they're cheering, "Si se pudo." Yes, we did it. It happened. What do you think now this means for Venezuela, for family back home, how people can move forward after this?
Well, that's where the uncertainty comes. I plead America, again, I plead for you for mercy for us Venezuelans. People such as me, I have been here almost my whole life, all of my youth.
Are you legal?
And I do believe that the future of Venezuelans is in Venezuela. But I also think that some of us and some people here also want to continue working here.
Yeah, I know, Yeti. I turned it off.
Building a beautiful nation. Doral. I mean, this is the stronghold of Venezuelans, and it's a beautiful city. I recommend everybody to come here to Doral. I recommend everybody, if you're Venezuelan, everyone, come down here to El Arepaso.
Doral?
Yes, yeah, come celebrate with us. We love everybody because you, America, has loved us so much, so much. Thank you, America.
Edgar, thank you so much for sharing those sentiments. Guys, this is something that I find really interesting here. Everyone here, American, Venezuelan, have said they're so happy for the freedom that they experience here, and they just hope that freedom translates into their home country, Venezuela. All we've heard was freedom, freedom, freedom. Yes, we did it. Now we can continue to move forward. By no means are any of them saying, now comes the ezy part. Certainly the hard parts are on the way, but they're saying now is finally a step in the right direction that they've all been waiting for so long. I want to give you a little bit more of a scene setter here, guys. Look, people with flags.
That guy's Venezuelan?
Hundreds of people here.
Make Venezuela great again.
Cars, playing music, everyone here dancing. It really is.
I wonder if they just turned MAGA.
To see so many people coming together. There
Democrats are going to hate this.
Behind this. I mean, they're not just cheering because of what just happened today. This comes from generations upon generations of stories of struggle, stories of hurt, stories also of hope for a better country and a better life for their family in Venezuela. Since I've been here, I've seen countless people FaceTiming their family members from Venezuela, checking up on them. Like we said, these strikes, we still don't know if there have been any casualties. We have had a lot of people here checking up on their family. Thankfully, all of the FaceTimes have been answered. A lot of things
they look
still
pretty
we
excited.
do not know, but overall here.
Peru. They don't look devastated. This is all this morning. Libertad. 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 From Scarface, by the way. Iran is well on its way already. Their currency got destabilized and their people are revolting. And right now, Donald Trump said, people of Iran, we are with you. So if they get attacked by the regime there, Donald Trump says he's going to step in. I don't like that idea. I really don't, because it's not our fight. And if they're getting destabilized, that means they have no money to create terror. But they will attack their own people. They will attack their own people.
Los memes de nuestra felicidad.
That's in Spain. Remember girl AI.
Marco.
Mira cómo fue la vaina, mira cómo fue la vaina.
Now they got all the memes. I guess they can celebrate them now.
Y este personaje
I already showed you Chile. South America seems to be rejoicing. And like I said, liberals are going to find a way to turn this back on being negative. Watch. I haven't started watching the liberal news networks yet, but they'll spin it. They're going to spin it. We know. Are they saying bingo? It's almost as if Donald Trump got elected in Venezuela.
Just pure emotion.
You might be wondering how I.
And now we're gonna switch topics back to fraud, more taxpayer dollars wasted, and cover-ups and lies and deceit. Let's see what's going on. We're gonna start off with a video, of course.
Call us daily, faces all know. Same footsteps, same cracked stone. Strangers drift where they don't belong. Eyes get heavy when the night runs on. Money talk whispers, hands move quick. Wrong kind of quiet, wrong kind of mix. Windows down, but the air goes cold. Everybody feeling when the story's old. Not on our block, not on our block. Wrong gon' stop where the curve is sharp. Not on our block, lines stay locked. Not on our block. No sirens sing, no extra noise. Just rules that stick like oil and salt. Meals don't slide where the kids still play.
See how even this guy ties it back to Somalia and the Hortmans. But I was watching another creator, and he actually did the same thing I did and tied it back to Operation Restore Hope.
Streets remember who broke the law. Sun comes up, same face is back. Same crow, hell, no crack. Not on our block. No, not on our block. Don't move, stop where the curve is sharp. Not on our block. Lines stay locked. Not on our block. Run stays firm, fence stays tight. At the corner load is rise.
Oh,
How significant
my
is
bad.
this problem?
My bad. I was totally doing something else. So, when I say this fraud, let me open a window in a second, has been going on for a while in mini Mogadishu, there's actually a news report that they reposted from this news station on a story they did in 2015. Now, when I watched this story and I realized they knew they did nothing, so why do I think anything's going to change this time? Why should I expect somebody to get charged this time? It's not. No one will. I'd be surprised if they do after what 2025 looked like. Now, if 2026 they start making those waves because midterm elections. That makes fucking sense.
Massive.
Steve Halicki spent 15 years as a welfare fraud investigator for
They're using
Hennepin
the
County.
all this for the midterms to get Republicans
They don't want
elected again.
a fraud unit to do anything. They want a fraud unit on paper.
Halicki was fired in 2013 while in the midst of a big investigation. The county claims he was an
I'm sorry, that
insubordinate
2013.
bully whose tactics were hampering efforts
The
to
story
catch
wasn't done
welfare
until
cheats.
2015.
They don't want to point fingers at various organizations and people. This is nothing but a giant cover-up. You're driving down the street, you have no idea.
Halicki contacted the Fox 9 investigators after seeing our series of reports on Deco daycare centers. We uncovered evidence the company was collecting millions in public subsidies for providing bogus child
It's
care
2013, guys.
income families.
In essence, this scheme was really involved creating a criminal enterprise.
In December, Ramsey County charged Deco's owner with fraud.
The daycares that I'm going to be showing you from this point on all bill over $100,000 a month.
Halicki says before he was fired, he was tracking a similar scheme in Hennepin County involving multiple child care centers.
Oh.
He offered to take us on a driving tour to show what he'd uncovered.
What does this one say on the door? 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. There are no lights on.
This building is housing its third daycare center in as many years.
They just got a new license.
The two previous daycares had their public subsidies stopped by the county because of billing irregularities.
I'm sorry. Did they say billing irregularities? Like this has been happening for over 10 plus years? What the fuck are we going to do about it? Something needs to be done. Examples need to be made, or our justice system is completely corrupt, and so are the fucking politicians who run it. I get it. We know they already are. But if they want to fucking start saving face with Americans, they need to fix this. Amongst all the other fraud, those Republicans in the House need to get off their fucking asses and get those Doge cuts and codify them. You know, the Doge cuts that they were supposed to vote on and keep putting it on the back burner. Oh, by the way, they have 27 days to fucking pass a budget or our government might shut down again.
Hour after hour, I would sit here and document nothing.
Halicki discovered one center was charging the county for kids who were never dropped off.
See the double doors over there? Yeah. Okay. That's a daycare center. You wouldn't know it from this.
He took us to center after center that had no sign outside to indicate it was a daycare. When we knocked on the doors during posted business hours, no one answered.
If you're driving down the street, would you even know this was a daycare center? Probably not.
Yet each location has a state license to operate,
But there's nobody in there right now.
and is eligible to collect child care subsidies to serve low-income families.
I mean, that's blacked out up there, so you can't even tell when the lights are on or off. Exactly. Why would they do that? So you can't prove
Come
when they're
on.
working and when they're not. You could be billing till 11 o'clock at night, but they gone home, 6 hours earlier.
Each of the centers he
If they
checked
even
had
opened.
their windows mysteriously covered.
Why block them off? What are you afraid of? The truth?
They're vampires. Duh.
Kids' identities? Okay, then why don't the legitimate daycares block them off?
Just because they look suspicious doesn't mean they're up to no good. So we checked state inspection records for each of the centers on Halicki's tour.
Uh-oh.
They've all been cited for licensing violations.
Oh.
The kind that are red flags to the state's Department of Human Services.
This is a cover-up. This is
2013?
a deliberate attempt by the officials in Hennepin County to deceive the taxpayers. I have emails, I have documents, I have everything to prove they knew, and they looked the other way.
Here's an email he sent to the supervisor of the fraud unit. The goal was to stop the bleeding as quickly as possible and protect taxpayer money from going
Shit,
out the
it looked
door.
like they only made
Now
it
you wanna
worse.
Stop the process? I know you're motivated and rightly concerned, she responds. Let's get a plan together to tackle these centers.
And then they fired
I
him.
don't think we would ever intentionally try to deceive the public.
Okay.
The officials say they take all cases of alleged daycare fraud seriously.
He says they don't want to point fingers at various organizations and people. This is nothing but a giant cover-up.
Our focus is really primarily on prevention, but certainly we investigate and take action and work with our county attorney's office whenever there is actual fraud
I don't
that
know.
has occurred.
I don't believe him.
2 years since Halicki was fired, not one case has
See?
been prosecuted by the county. We found most counties in the metro aren't investigating daycare center fraud. They're handing those cases off to a special team with the Department of Human Services that ramped up more than a year ago.
Public's wondering, what's taking you guys so long?
Nobody is more frustrated with the amount of time it's taking than we are.
Sure you are.
We really want to get through these and get some of these completed.
We're told the state has nearly a dozen active investigations underway. Steve Halicki believes there are probably a lot more to pursue.
This cannot go on. We need to stop this immediately.
Halicki says he's going public with this information because he wants to clear his name. He did a
2013, 2015. Nothing happened. Nothing changed. They just fired the investigator.
appeal his firing from the Hennepin County Fraud Unit, but an arbitrator upheld the county's decision to let him go. I'm Fox 9 investigator Jeff Ballion.
And you can't tell me that they didn't know about this. Minnesota didn't know about it. You see, they ignored it when it happened 16 years ago, 13 years ago. Nothing will happen this time because nothing happened last time.
We're going to get radical, hardened military.
Now, this is Nick Shirley in Minneapolis 5 months ago. So for anybody that says he just showed up randomly, he's been there a few times.
Islamists to come into America.
Islam is the #1 growing religion here in the United States. Why do you think that is so? Do you think Islam will eventually overtake Christianity here in the United States?
Worldwide, not just United States.
I think
Bring on the Crusades! Oh shit, I'm sorry for anybody that had headphones on. But I think it's time for the Crusades to come back. I'm just saying.
Islam hates us.
The rise of Islam is real here in the United States. It's the fastest growing religion across America, and it's nearly double.
Remember, I used to fight Islamic terrorists.
Muslim woman averaging 3.1 children compared to 1.6 for the American average. Muslims aren't just outpacing the nation in birth rates, they're also out-converting Christians. Nearly a quarter of all U.S. Muslims are converts, and most of them used to be Christians. While Christian churches are losing members, mosques are gaining members, and they're keeping them. And today I'm here in Minnesota, home to one of the largest Muslim populations in all of America, to witness the rise firsthand. I'll be speaking with Muslims, Christian Americans, all Americans, entering in the mosque, asking the questions you guys want answered, from 9/11 to Sharia law, everything in between. There are no questions that are off the table for this video. And if you're a Christian who believes in Western values, this video might be a wake-up call to you to reignite your faith and spread the good word. And if you're a Muslim, this video might excite you for the future of Islam here in the United States. I want to apologize to anybody a part of Islam beforehand. If I do not use the correct verbiage or phrasing, I apologize. I'm not too familiar with the religion. So today we're going to be learning more, speaking with people, and seeing the rise of Islam here in the United States. And now, let's hit the streets and see what's happening. And to see the rise of Islam firsthand, we head to Cedar Riverside in Minneapolis to see how much the Islam community has grown inside of this community inside of America. What's it mean to you to be a part of Islam here in the United States?
Well, you know, I think Islam is a religion for the humanity, you know. For
who?
Islam in America growing, it's not something to do with us, it's something to do with God. And it's God's decision, you know.
What's it like being a part of Islam here in the United States?
Islam here is growing. So I hope the Islam will grow here in America.
And why do you think so many people are converting to Islam here? It's the #1 growing religion here in the United States.
Well, it's not only the growing, it's the fastest growing religion in the world. And no one can stop it. It looks like it is the best and the final religion to humanity. So if you don't accept it, that's up to you.
Islam is the #1 growing religion here in the United States. Yeah. Why do you think that is so?
Because of the great...
See, the people who started the Crusades, all of them, knew what they were doing. They knew what was coming.
Great influx, #1 of the immigrants that Secondly, you know, some people start to see the Islamic people in general really hold some good, true value. You know what I'm saying? Their values are really tight with how they take care of the family and how they see things that way, which is a very good, strong thing. You know?
While we were inside of Cedar Riverside, we actually met a lady who had left the Islam faith. So are you a Muslim woman or no?
I'm not. My parent was Muslim.
How come you left Islam?
Because they control
Oh.
they control my clothes, and it's not good.
Do you think women are suppressed?
Yes, of course they breast. It's not. They don't want
No
to
women's
be
rights.
female. They're afraid to get killed, so that's why they wear hijab. They wear big clothes. But me, I don't want clothes. I don't want to wear.
But you still cover your
this
head.
Need to be stopped. People, they have to wear whatever they want.
So if
President Trump, you have to tell President Trump. You have to tell me a message. Females, they have this United States. They have freedom. They can wear whatever they wanted. But Islamic, they breast females.
People don't
To
understand
wear
that.
these hijabs.
So if you're a woman in Afghanistan and you don't wear the hijab,
They kill you. They don't want you if you don't wear a hijab. Even me, I wear this because they don't want me to wear a pant. Yeah,
really?
I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm afraid. That's why I wear this. So it's not the way you think.
The hijab is a headscarf worn by many Muslim women as a sign of modesty and faith, and in some Muslim countries or underneath certain leadership, it is required, while in others, it is not. What are some large misconceptions about Islam here in the United States?
That Muslim women are suppressed.
They are.
And what makes you choose to wear the hijab?
My religion, I started wearing the hijab when I was 16 years old.
And what would happen if you didn't wear the hijab?
Nothing would happen. It's your choice.
And why do you think Islam is the largest growing religion here in the United States right now?
Because of our Quran. Our Quran, our book never changes. It's one book, one language, one religion.
Your prophet was a pedophile.
There's Islam in all over the world.
Your prophet was a
Islam will
pedophile.
eventually overtake Christianity here in the United States.
Worldwide, not just the United States. We have people converting every day.
And what leads a Christian man to convert to Islam?
When they read the Quran and they find the truth, and they read it in English, and they see how peaceful Islam is.
And could you shake a man's hand?
No.
Do you find that interesting that women can't shake other men's hand?
No, I don't find that interesting.
Yeah, Islam's totally peaceful. I've never had any issues with Islam.
It's normal.
Is it true that Muslims also practice polygamy?
Yes.
Would you accept
Yeah, look at that.
wife into your marriage?
In our
So-
religion.
Apparently, under Sharia law, they can have 4 wives. But a woman can only have 1 husband.
It says.
How have you seen the rise of Islam here in this area?
It's a big rise.
And why do you think Islam is on the rise here in the United States?
Because of a lot of Somalians come here from East Africa.
You mean
And
Somalia?
so they come here to practice Islam because it's safe.
Minnesota is home to one of the largest populations of Somalians, and America accepted thousands of Somalis refugees in the 1990s due to the civil war that was taking place. And when they came to the
There it
United
is.
States, a large portion of them decided to settle in Minnesota for some reason. And
See,
now that
Nick-
decades have passed,
Nick put the thing together 5 months ago. He knew even that fucking Civil War, Operation Restore Hope, caused this.
those refugees have had children, and the Somali population has grown. This also raises the number of members of Islam born into the United States and also expands the influence of Islam throughout the country. It's projected that Minneapolis is now home to over 200,000 Somalians, and now many of those Somalians are also a part of the government, like Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, and now they also have another new person running for mayor of Minneapolis who's also Somali and
lost.
also Muslim. And Minneapolis is also
So
one
that
of the
guy.
only cities in America that permits the Muslim call of prayer to be played out loud for all the public to hear. And right now, if you listen super closely, you can hear the call to prayer. Do you think traditional Western values are falling while Eastern values are rising here in the United States?
I don't know. Yeah.
They look like they
I
smell.
don't really know. I would say I like guess it just depends on what you mean. Yeah.
Traditional values that brought up the Western world, like Christian values, would you say those are on the decline while Eastern values are on the uprise here?
I guess there's a lot of different interpretations of what Christian values are, so you'd have to be a little more specific.
What?
Like the values of the Bible.
Yeah, but like people interpret the Bible in different ways, right? So
Like the generic teachings, like the Ten Commandments.
I don't know. I think it just depends.
What's it like being a Muslim here in the United States?
I'm not speaking English.
You don't?
Only one Somali language.
What does it mean to you to be a part of Islam?
I don't know. I'm not speaking English.
Oh.
How are you? Do any of you speak English? English? No. Can women speak to on camera?
No, they're not even supposed to speak to a man that's not their husband.
I kept going because I wanted to speak with some more of the elders here to see if they could share their story about coming here from Somalia and how they've seen the rise firsthand. However, none of them spoke English. How are you? Can I ask any of you guys some questions? No? Speak English?
English no.
No? Do any of you speak English? I then found someone who I could speak with and ask the controversial questions that many people are curious about. What's it like being a Muslim woman here in the United States?
It's sometimes challenging, especially nowadays.
And why do you say nowadays?
The climate kind of changed because of the political.
For instance, do you feel like acts like 9/11 and the word and the use of the word radicalized has put a bad name on Muslims?
Absolutely.
And what do you say about what happened on 9/11, or those when people say Allah Akbar or things like that?
I thought it's tragedy.
Would you say that's a misrepresentation of the true Islam, or do you think
It definitely is misrepresentation.
No, it's
True
not.
Islam doesn't believe in violence.
They
what's
actually do.
what's the hijab represent in your mind?
It represents for you to be a modest, to cover your body for only your spousal, and
See?
to leave something for the imagination.
What is Sharia law? A lot of people have a conception as to what Sharia law is. What is Sharia law?
I really don't like to speak or
Yo, listen, I'm gonna only show you my eyeballs. I'm gonna leave the rest to your imagination. And we're like, no. No, lady. No. I don't think that works with every Muslim. It doesn't.
that I'm not
One of us supposed
expert
to
on,
imagine.
or I don't know too many things about.
After a few interviews, somebody came up to us angry because we were asking people about the rise of Islam. My name is Dick Shirley.
What are you doing?
My name is Dick Shirley. I'm a YouTuber. We're doing a video on the rise of Islam here in the United States.
The rise of Islam.
Yeah, it's the #1 converting religion.
The rise of Islam.
Yeah.
Make it make sense for me.
Yeah, it's the #1 it's the #1 converting religion in the United States. So we're doing a top
Oh, the
subject on it.
#1 converting religion in the United States.
It's like the #1 growing religion. So.
Wait, isn't it after Christ?
Huh?
What?
Isn't it after Christ?
This guy wouldn't show his face on camera, and this conversation kept going for a few
You
minutes.
mean the Quran came out after Christ? Yeah. Yeah, about 600 years later.
He demanded that we deleted the footage of the interviews that we took here on the street. I said no, and he said, you better go, and we're going to make sure you leave. I've never been in a situation like that while I've been filming, where somebody comes out of nowhere and wants to take the footage.
And he still went
I was
back.
watching a video prior to this video, and there is a Somali gang war going on here inside of these apartment complexes, apparently. I think we just went upon a gang, and I didn't know that they were a gang. And right now, he said,
He's definitely
"You
by
better
himself
leave,
at this
and We're
point.
gonna make sure you get out of here." So right now, there is somebody following from behind, making sure that we get out of this place. Not the most friendly welcome here into this part of Minnesota.
Religion
So we
of
headed to
peace.
the next city to see more about the rise of Islam. And really quick, before we go check out the next city, I want to tell you guys about the sponsor of this video, Delete Me. And use code Shirley for 20% off. And now let's get back into the video. From Minneapolis, we went to a town named St. Cloud that's seen a dramatic shift in their demographic and as well as religion in the area. Inside of this town of St. Cloud, this is one of the many Islamic centers here. This is a mosque here, but something that's super interesting about this mosque right here, it actually used to
It looks
be
like a church turned
Lutheran
mosque.
church. You can see right here
Yep.
on the backdrop of this wall right here, this used to be a Lutheran church. So that just shows how much of the population has shifted from Christian to Muslim as far as the people in the population here inside of this town, as this used to be a Lutheran church, now it's an Islamic mosque. So right here is the St. Cloud University, and we were just at that mosque right there, and then if you go another block over, there's another mosque. And then what's interesting is right next to this mosque right here, there's a Presbyterian church, so you have two churches right next to each other, one worshiping Allah, and the other worshiping God. Depending on who you talk to as far as Allah and God, they are referred as the same person. However, the Islamics use the word Allah to refer to their God. How would you say the Islamic community is here?
It's pretty deep in it. It's a lot of people, right? It's pretty big.
they all they're pretty like they come together, right?
Would you say there's more Muslims than there are Christians here in this area?
I would say so. I would think so.
I'm guessing
yeah,
it's not
I would
Muslim?
say so. Yes, sir.
And how do you feel about the rise of Islam here in the United States?
I don't really know too much personally. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I don't know too much about
Smart
Islam. I'm
kid.
all for like what anybody wants to be with their religion and what they want to do, but I don't know too much about it. I just know it's real powerful here in Minnesota.
And why do you think it's so powerful here in Minnesota?
That's a good question. But I think don't they have like powerful people like in the government and stuff like that? They got something going on. Like they must have something here for them to come to, if that makes sense. Like there's something for them to be like. There might be more of them than black people. So
How do you feel about that?
I mean, something is bringing them here. Something is bringing them here. I feel like
He doesn't like them.
in all that, I thought he was Islam, but I don't know. I feel like something is just bringing them here. Like it must be something here that they love. So I think
You don't like them.
Don't they have like a schooling or a church or something? They got something where they all dress up and they're attending something. You know what I mean? They have events for them. There's obviously something going on where they have
Sometimes
an
when they
event
meet
going
up,
on or
it's
some
supposed
type
to
of
meeting.
fun or family or something where they can let their family celebrate. Like it's got to be.
For instance, right here is one of the
No.
churches, one of their mosques.
Oh, what?
And then if you go another block over there, there's another mosque.
Okay.
So there's two mosques within a block of each other here.
Okay.
So there are a lot of people here,
Uh-huh.
and St. Cloud is, I believe, the second or third highest population for Somalians.
Second or third? Really?
Yeah.
Minnesota?
Well, Minnesota is the #1 population for
It's gonna be
Somalis.
Minneapolis and then
I could tell.
Airborne.
I'm from Texas. There's a bunch of Mexicans there. Like, you come here, all the Mexicans gone. They switched out Somalians. It's not a bad thing, though. I don't think it's bad. You know what I'm saying? If this where y'all at, then hey, I'm here too. What's up? Where y'all at? They got some pretty girls and some pretty Islam women I done seen. They be having nice texture hair and stuff like that. They be all covered up. Hey, it's different everywhere you go. So, you know what I mean? I just respect the differences. It's cool to me.
Right here, we're in between the Islamic Center and the Presbyterian Church. Do you see more kids here on college campus converting to Christianity or to Islam here?
Honestly, I don't really see them converting much either way. I also don't get out too much.
And do you see the rise of Islam here inside of St. Cloud?
I do see a rise of it, yeah.
And how do you feel about that?
I like multiculturalism, you know, it's if everyone's the same, that's fucking
Little
boring.
fucking
Do you see more people here converting to Islam or to Christianity?
Just anecdotally, I'd say that Islam's on the rise here. I do know Christianity, including our denomination here in St. Cloud, is not growing. It's actually declining.
Really so? Well, meanwhile, you guys are declining, Islam is rising.
I think that's safe to say. Our average age of our congregation is probably 55, so we're not attracting younger people.
And what's attracting the younger generations to Islam?
I don't know.
Do you see any conflicts with Islam and Christianity?
Oh, absolutely. Ultimately, when you're a Christian, you believe Christ is the Savior of the world, and both the Jewish faith and Islamic and every other faith doesn't recognize that. So you're definitely at odds with each other.
Do you think Islam and Christianity can coincide here inside of this town?
I think when they get the majority, like there's more people that practice Islam, I think that it will take a different form. I think up until that point we can coexist, but history's shown that when the Muslim community gets majority in areas, they tend to behave differently. So,
And how much longer do you think this town has until the Muslim community does become the majority?
you know, I'm not an expert, but you know, if I look at they're averaging 5 children, I think we're only at 2 generations away.
And how many kids are the Christians or the people averaging here?
0. They have more cats and dogs. I hate to say it.
Are you guys seeing people convert to Christianity or Islam here inside St. Cloud?
Inside of St. Cloud? I mean, I see like a couple people converting Islam, yeah.
And how many mosques were here just 10 years ago?
2.
Well, I'd say 15 years ago, there was just the one at St. Cloud State University.
close.
That was a room within the university setting.
Oh.
So it really wasn't an active mosque community. It was more like a prayer room.
So within the past 15 years, 5 mosques have been built here?
Yeah. But then I would challenge you to go and look at the growth of the Somali refugee population, because they're the ones that really put a demand on the desire for Islam. Was Minnesota took a lot of Somali refugees, and many of them were placed here in St. Cloud. So that immediately inserted, I think, at least 2,000 Muslims that have been here for 20 years.
Do you guys think St. Cloud has been taken over by Somalis?
Hell yeah.
Do you feel like they're going to eventually overpopulate the Americans here?
Yeah, they definitely will.
Their first generation of their kids are going to college, you know, and graduating, learning English. They're staying here. So I researched that a little bit, because that's uniquely what brought Islam to St. Cloud.
That's not what it was. Remember, they were given that 3,000 years ago.
From the Presbyterian Church, I headed over to one of the mosques to try and speak with some of the people inside. English? Speak English? No. Anybody speak English?
We want you guys to convert to Islam, but we don't have
How are
to
you?
speak English.
Good. How would you describe the rise of Islam here inside of Minnesota, or inside of St. Cloud?
We have talked to. It's coming.
And are you from Somalia?
Yes. Yes.
And what year did you come here?
Come here at 1990.
What's attracting a lot of people to convert to Islam?
I don't really have much knowledge on that, but basically human life crosses and all that, you know, like what's going on around the world and stuff. I think something like that.
And do the people here in Minnesota, are they very receptive to Islam here?
It depends, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure.
And how long have you lived here for?
8 years.
8 years? And where are you from?
Somalia, Mogadishu.
And why are a lot of
Where are you from?
Somalians choosing to come here to Minnesota?
Different reasons, family, wages, a lot of different reasons.
All right, so I'm leaving the building right now. Try my best to speak to the people inside.
I'm surprised they let them go inside a mosque.
However, now we're going to go to other
and
mosques
record.
because now it is the time for prayer. So we're going to head over to the other one, see if we can talk to some more people as well.
And we're about to go into prayer, right?
I don't care who you are or where I'm at. I'm not gonna fucking do a Muslim prayer.
Right now, you can come in, take your shoes off. I can grab you a chair to sit in.
Might as well kill me.
I was kindly invited to go in and pray with the men inside of this mosque, and to remain as respect possible, I did ask permission to film during the prayer. I don't really know what I'm doing right now,
But you're still doing it.
All right, we just finished up the prayer. So how long does that prayer last for?
So it depends on what time of day it is. This one does not last that long. It could last for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on what we need to do.
Do you see the rise of Islam?
Yeah, you can say so. There's all different type of ethnicities, all sorts of races, so I'm guessing that's a huge rise.
So inside of this Islamic center, there's also a mosque at the very bottom, but then the rest of it is also a school. This building used to be an old elementary school or something like that. Now it's been converted into an Islamic center. Downstairs is the mosque, and upstairs is where the classrooms are at. I'm gonna go have a conversation with one of the kids here who is Muslim to ask him some questions about what people are
this might be
referring to
St.
as the
Cloud.
Somali takeover, some misconceptions that I might have about the Islamic faith, and just ask and have an open conversation about what it means to be a part of Islam, and ask some other questions as well. And how many people are you seeing, for instance, like how many white American boys like me are you seeing convert to Islam?
So I'm a close friend of one of them. I wish he was here today so he could talk to you. Originally he's Irish. His family had lived in Minnesota for the past, I would say 70 years. His great-grandparents came early on during the early 1900s, and he recently accepted Islam, I would say 2 years ago. And when I was talking to him, he accepted Islam through reading the Quranic literature, you know?
So what's the difference between you and somebody who's been radicalized?
Well, the difference between me and someone who's been radicalized is this. Most people who have been radicalized for a political gain, not for a theological gain. Allah says in the Quran, لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليهم, which means Allah does not prohibit you from those that don't fight you, don't expel you from your homes, to be kind to them. Allah is not prohibiting you from doing that. In fact, Wallahu yuhibbul muqsitin. Allah loves those that are kind to them.
So why does the word radical?
Well, I guess in the eyes of Allah, I'm fucked. Not very kind to them. Or anybody for that matter.
Guys come up, for instance, like the Death to America, that sort of stuff. Where does that come from? Because that's a lot of stuff that maybe I see on the news, or maybe I see because I'm living here in the United States, and that's kind of the news you get, is like the Islam's taking over, and they're going to want to make sure that Sharia law is brought to pass and that everybody converts to Islam.
Well, there's this misconception about Sharia law. Everybody sees Sharia law as this law that puts everybody that's not a Muslim under this radical military rule.
It does,
that you
though.
either comply with what the government says, or you're punished. No, Sharia law is really simple. Of a big part of Sharia law is this: the Prophet, may peace be and blessings be upon him, said, "It is not befitting for you to go to sleep with your belly full with food while your neighbor is hungry." Sharia law is not a political rule. In some aspects it is, don't get me wrong. There's a political aspect in Islam. And what's specifically funny to me is the right-wing media and the radical Islamists, as I put it, both view the Quran in the same way. They both view the Quran as some war-fighting material that the Islamists use to, prove their point, and the radical right use to prove their point against Islam.
In your simplest terms, what does it mean to you to be a part of Islam?
Being part of Islam, very simply, is submitting myself to the one that created me, the one that sustains me, the one that allows me to do everything that I do.
And you guys, what does it mean for you guys to be part of Islam?
It's an honor, man. You know, to have God bestow His mercy upon us and just be a part of a beautiful religion, man. You know.
Sounds like Christianity.
Here in America, do you think Islam is on the rise?
In the same sense, but the way they feel about it.
Well, the statistics show that. I can't really say more, but I hope it's on the rise more, and more Muslims and more Americans see the true side of Islam and don't have this false narrative about us.
Do you think eventually that Islam will take over the Christian faith here inside of parts of America like Minnesota?
Not specifically take over, but we see that Islam is growing, and pretty soon, we don't know, it might be the majority. The majority of people, Minnesota people, might be Muslim. You know, we don't know.
Would you like that to happen?
I would love it to happen, but not as in a way as in like for the other people to be oppressed and not have their religions. You know, it's your life. You live how you want.
Kind of like in Ukraine.
I want people to just learn more about Islam and open their minds to it. You know, and hopefully God will do the rest.
And when people talk about the take,
not that Ukraine's Muslim, but they definitely don't like Christianity. I mean, or Catholicism. I think it's Catholicism.
Over of Islam, or for instance, they talk about how the Somalians are taking over Minnesota, and they believe it's part of Sharia law. Is that true or not true with what Sharia law says?
Well, no part of Sharia law says go into a land, subjugate its people, do this, do that. You know, I would say.
Are there Muslims that do, or are there people of the Islamic faith that do believe that part of Sharia law?
Which part would you say?
As far as going in and taking over, for instance, in the United Kingdom, there's subsets of groups that believe they need to take over.
United Kingdom, that's where I give the example of where integration has become horrible. You know, you go to the United Kingdom, you go to a street filled with mosques, and every single one of them hates the other one. And when I see it, it saddens me, because it's introducing this community, the English people, to a form of Islam which was rejected by the Prophet, a form which is disgraced. You know, going out, when the Prophet would send missionaries to Christian nations, he didn't tell them to, hey, go there, yell at them, yada yada yada, do this. No, he said, be like them, dress like them, talk to them, help them, introduce them to Islam gradually. I'm not just gonna go in there and say, hey,
Trojan horse,
Islam, take it. If you don't, you know, I'm gonna do something to you. No.
Infiltrate and expand.
Another thing that many people might be misconceived about is polygamy. Do you guys practice polygamy?
Well, polygamy is allowed within Islam, the limit is 4. You can have 1 wife, 2 wives, 3 wives, 4 wives, but there's a requirement, you know?
Wait a minute. I could get down. No, I'm just kidding. Or could I?
So do Muslims practice polygamy?
Yeah, you can. You know, it's not like compulsory. Hey, you have to get married to 4 wives, you know? You can get married to however much you want, but there's a requirement. I married 1 wife. I can't just go to a second wife and treat her differently without this one, you know? I can't make this wife the main wife.
Right.
And this wife a specific wife just for like my chores and for my cleaning, you know?
Hear me out. Hear me out. He's basically saying that if you have 2 wives and you can't treat them any differently, imagine every time is a threesome. Every time is going to be a threesome. Is that so bad?
You are, as a man, you're required to provide for them. You treat them equally and treat them with the utmost respect, because they're not just like how I would say your toys to play with. These are humans.
And do you think the Muslims, the Somalians, are going to outpace the Americans here with their
birthing rate? Well,
birthing
statistically,
rates?
okay, if the statistics continue how they are right now, with American birth rates declining and Islamic birth rates on an incline, well, yeah. But I would love to see people like you having more kids. Kids are amazing, man.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And a lot of Christians aren't having too many kids these days.
It's a little strange that he was so happy about that. Maybe I'm just oversimplifying, whatever. Reading too much into that. But he's kind of excited about it. He kind of looks like, you know.
Yeah, I would encourage, have more kids, keep the nuclear family alive.
Damn right.
More marriages, great marriages, kids.
More marriages, so you want to have more than one wife?
Heck no. Me personally, Nick, I'll tell you this. Me personally, if I even get one, I'll be happy.
And
Oh,
what
you're
do
not
you guys
married.
think about the rise of Islam here in the
Not married. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe it's because I saw a different side. And all the sides I always saw were radical Islam. And the few Muslims that I did know that I was friends with, I don't know. They wouldn't have considered them real Muslims. It's weird. It's just like you have whites and the white trash. Right? You've got blacks and niggers. You have radical Islam. And if you're not part of the radical Islam, you definitely get shunned. Especially if you fight for the U.S. military. Because apparently you're not supposed to fight against other Muslims. Which is funny because when you think about it, they're not supposed to fight their own. They're always fighting each other. Tribes. Well, maybe I'm thinking of Islam in the Middle East. I don't know how it is in Somalia. Dude, there might be different forms of Islam. Now to think of it. Because I'm always seeing through the eyes of the Middle East. That's something for me to check into. Interesting.
How much of this you think Tim Walz knew is happening?
Oh, he's known about it. That's why he's saying fraud's been happening for years. He literally knows that fraud has been happening. Like, he is so stupid. Like, he knows it's happening. If someone's stealing money from me, and if I'm giving them money, and they're going to do something with it, what am I going to do? I'm going to stop giving them money. He's enabled and continued to let this fraud happen, and so is everybody else inside of that Capitol building, because they're the ones writing the checks.
Yeah, Rob, is this the clip? Because this kind of brings me to a complete different thing that I'd like some people to look into. Rob, is this him talking about that he knows fraud is happening?
In 2019, yep.
This is a 2019 clip.
Yep.
Okay, go for it. 6 years ago.
2019, huh?
That the legislative audit report gave us a clear path. It told us that we could do better, and just like Minlar's, I now own that. and I own the fix for that. But I do want to be clear, and before we take some other questions on this, that what needs to stop is a demonization of one community.
You know, just because I'm me and I do what the fuck I want. Look what shirt I bought. God damn it. Zoom. There we go. Quality Learning Center. Quality Learning Center. I wonder if I'm going to get shot. They do have Somali daycares in Nashville.
Involved in this. What needs to stop is an absolutely unproven storyline that continues to resurface on the House floor, that this money went to terrorists and it's targeted at one group of our citizens here, of Minnesotans. We'll own that this thing needs to be fixed. We'll own that there were problems in this. We will own that there are fixes, and we think we proposed the right amount, but we're open to that to try and close this. But again, I am not going to allow folks to use this as a hammer against a group of people.
Okay.
A hammer?
So he's not going to allow to use this as a hammer. Okay, so then the next question is, how do you think he benefit from it? Not just election-wise, but you think he benefit from it financially? How do you think he benefit from it?
Oh,
There has to be some sort of incentive where he's benefiting from it, whether it be he's actually receiving money or obviously the votes. But he has to have some sort of incentive to allow this to happen.
Both.
Maybe
How do you
he's getting
think-
somebody else rich, and then
That's
he's
what I'm saying,
getting
like-
money to funnel for his next campaign.
How did Kamala raise $2.5 billion in 100 days for her campaign? Remember, it was all small dollar donations that helped get her up there. It's weird that she picked Tim Walz to be her running mate. Maybe they knew. Dude, the administration might have known. Holy shit.
Whatnot. That's kind of how I even had a mayor in California tell me once that that's why there's so many nonprofits, is because they create these nonprofits, and that money can go back to funneling somebody else's campaign. But so Tim Walz, he's probably receiving some sort of benefits. I know he's been to China a lot. Tim Walz.
Yep.
He's actually not even from Minnesota. He was born in Nebraska. I don't even know if he owns a home in Minnesota. Like, I don't think he actually physically owns a home in Minnesota. He lives in the governor's mansion. But lots of really strange things underneath Tim Walz. And why would it take,
Besides
if
being a
you're
coward.
giving somebody millions of dollars, and you notice that millions of dollars are going to places where they shouldn't be, how many years do you think it would take for you to solve that issue?
It would 6 months, 3 to 6 months. You'd put the entire team behind it because you want to be able to gain credibility that we're addressing this issue and it cannot continue.
So he's had 6 years. And then 2023, he said, he's either 2023, I think he said, we're going to give them a raise. We're going to give the child care a raise in Minnesota.
Yeah, this is a little weird because the one thing when Kamala Harris was choosing the VP, and, you know, is it going to be Newsom? Newsom rejected it. Is it going to be Josh Shapiro? They're not comfortable that he was Jewish and that, you know, he had some skeletons in a closet from a previous friend that he protected. They claimed that was the reason, right? And Josh is not a fan of Kamala Harris. Nobody in a million years thought it was going to be a guy named Tim Walz. But here's what happened, Rob, if you want to pull this up. When they announced Tim Walz, what's weird is 24 hours after announcing Tim Walz, a record-breaking $36 million went into the campaign. It was a record-breaking thing that happened.
Whoa.
I don't know if you knew this or not. Harris's campaign raises $36 million in 24 hours after announcing Walz as running mate. Where that money came from, of course, someone can investigate this. And they said this was a record-breaking number. Who is Tim Walz? It's not like it's a...
And Tim Walz would have had Harris basically pardon everybody that would have been involved that got caught. Huh.
Massive name. Where's that money coming from? You know, you know, we don't know who this individual was to be able to get this kind of money, but it gets people to question where this money came from.
Yeah, 100%. That kind of goes back to my point that they'll start these organizations or start these daycares, and then they can just get all this money tax-free, and then they can funnel it wherever they want.
Yeah, so that is the part where how is he winning from doing this? Then there's also some...
Remember Sonny Hostin, one of the hosts of The View, Her husband's under RICO charges for healthcare fraud for doing shit that he didn't do, but was getting paid.
People that were
Not
speculating,
just
saying,
Somalis, guys.
you know, Tim Walz getting in. This is such a big issue nationwide with Democrats in different places. I even saw one that said Pennsylvania is also another place they're looking into. If this becomes a national thing on the Democratic side for fraud, this is not just bad for Tim Walz.
Oh,
this is bad for every.
Let me just I'm not just saying the Democrats are the ones that do it, because they're not. Somebody ask Eye Patch McCain and Pink Cilantro.
Everybody. Yesterday, Scott Jennings on CNN. I don't know if you saw this exchange between Scott Jennings and Dear Abby.
Yeah.
Did you see that exchange, Rob? If you want to play this clip, it was Scott doing his typical thing, which is, you know, destroying everybody on that show, and, you know, the CEO of CNN.
How does
Rob, if you want to play this clip, real quick,
Knowles.
watch this exchange, folks.
Someone says it has it as Scott versus the retards.
Why is it that right now everything seems to be about
Yes.
whether or
And that's why people should be saying, what the fuck? This is why premiums that they were worried about are going up. This is why many Americans cannot afford health care.
not the people involved here are Somali, even though one of the biggest people who were involved in one of these frauds was not Somali at all. She was a white woman. So respond to that.
Doesn't that disprove everything he just argued?
Well,
they're obviously
well, I
they're
know
rounding
it
up,
doesn't.
rounding
Well,
up
nobody-
anybody.
answers no.
They're rounding up everybody
Nobody's
who is
talking-
involved in fraud.
Nobody's
they're
talking
not
about
rounding up
her.
everybody.
They're all talking about Somalis. That's the point.
I want them
She
to
was already
round up
charged.
anyone who is involved in defrauding American taxpayers of what apparently amounts to $9 billion in a very, very
Oh, this
small
guy's a
state.
Jew.
Somali, whether they're citizens, immigrants, white, I don't care.
You don't care if
I
they
want
target
the
one
fraud
community?
to
I
stop.
want them to target
Do you
everyone.
support the targeting
fraud
of
to
this
stop.
one community or
I
not?
support the
you think that's
targeting.
the right thing to do?
I support the
Or do you
targeting
think
of
that's the
people
wrong thing
engaged
to
in
do?
fraud.
But do you support the targeting of the Somali American community
If
as
they are-
directed by the
Are they
President of the
guilty?
United States based on their
fraud?
ethnicity?
That's not what he said.
That's it.
B,
That is precisely
if
what he
they are
said.
engaged in
If data
fraud
says
and
it's the
because
case,
they're
who
American,
cares? Go keep playing it.
should that make them immune?
That's a straw man argument.
No.
Just answer the question.
I did.
Should we
I want
target
anyone
people
involved in
based on
fraud
their
to be targeted.
ethnicity?
Anyone involved in fraud.
But not based on their ethnicity.
I want it based on whether they're
See?
involved in
Crazy. He wants all fraud investigated and gotten rid of. He's making it about race. He's making it about race. You know why? Because Ilhan Omar is the reason this is making mainstream media. And because now they have to backtrack. Because Nick Shirley took everyone that was ignoring it and made it to where no one could ignore it. You saw that story that I ran that was run in 2015 when fraud was found in 2013 and they fired the guy investigating it. And everybody that would have been charged, nothing happened. That's why I played the video.
Is it
fraud.
really so hard to answer that question?
Yes. I
Scott?
want it. Yes.
Is it
I
so
said
hard
the only
to sit there and
criteria-
say we shouldn't target people based on their ethnicity?
The only criteria I
Can you
have
say
is fraud.
we shouldn't
Can you
target
say-
people based on
can
their
you
ethnicity?
say-
I
can
can
you-
say that.
can
Can
you
you
say
say
that?
that?
I can say
I
that.
can say everyone
It should not be
here can
targeted.
say.
See,
target
the whole
people.
group is making it about, oh, I can say we're not just targeting Somalis. Bro, they're the only ones that are being talked about. What if these investigative journalists went and investigated other communities? We already found out about the churches and the NGOs and USAID. This is another fucking fraud. Yet they're always defending fraud. You notice that? Yeah, I just saw that, Yeti. I just saw that. That's not what we were supposed to do.
human being can say you shouldn't
Scott
target
Jennings
people.
won't say that. Why won't you say that?
Because
Scott?
I don't agree that that's what's happening. I don't agree with your fallacy. I don't agree with your stupid.
You've heard Donald Trump say that.
Ad hominem attacks are the
There's
lowest
another
form of
clip than this
argument,
one,
Scott.
Rob.
The
There's
lowest
another
form
clip where he is just going at it with Abby. It's an exchange between the two of them. But finally, these types of conversations, is this the one?
I think, no, that's not.
There's one that he's going with Abby back and forth, and it's a very, very strong exchange that they're having. The point is, at this point, is this the one?
This is where they talk about Tim Walz claiming that fraud was a white supremacy.
Yeah, this is the one. Go ahead.
It's Democrats who have put Somali diaspora in Minneapolis at the center of their party and their state's politics. It's a small portion of the population. There is a bunch of fraud that goes on. And even Tim Walz has claimed that any investigation of this fraud is akin to white supremacy,
No,
which is
he
a
hasn't.
ridiculous
He has not
allegation.
claimed that. He has not said
He
that.
has said
He
that.
has not said that.
And they've never
This is
come
what
and
happens
retracted
when
their
your own
statement.
federal government wages war against you. This is what happens when they target communities for their own benefit. This is what happens when they scapegoat. And this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy, the idea of white supremacy, the idea of white supremacy, the idea of white supremacy.
See, this is why you can't do things.
Tim, they're going after you. They're going after you too. You don't look Somali. Matter of fact, you don't even look black. Not even close. I've got more African blood in me than you do. But I wouldn't be considered African because it's northern Africa, apparently. Unless you're sub-Saharan, you're not African.
Like that today. There's a 17-year-old kid that's a great editor that knows how to take it, find it, and he has all the time in the world, dear Abby. You can't say stuff like that with CNN anymore. You can't. Someone like a 23-year-old Nick Shirley that's fearless with courage is going to come and say, let me investigate this a little bit more if this is true or not, if he ever said this or not. Go ahead.
Yeah, Tim Walz said it himself.
Yeah.
He called me and everybody else a white supremacist.
Yeah, yeah.
For simply just caring about fraud.
Yeah.
And that's why he's allowed fraud to happen, because he's so scared of being called a racist, be called an Islamophobe, and for saying things for what they are. That fraud is fraud, and it's a fact that the Somali population inside Minnesota are committing 89% of the fraud.
89% of the fraud in Minnesota is coming from Somalis.
Yes.
I mean, what does that do to you?
I'm Nick Shirley, and you guys can find me here on Manect. Go ahead.
Fraud's there, but they're not doing anything about it. So Donald Trump came out and said, you know what? I have issues with all this fraud that's going on. And it's not just rampant in Minnesota. So as of now, I'm going to put pause on aid for daycares going to the state of Minnesota. Until, because then he handed it off to Department of Health and Human Services, which said, hey, Minnesota, we're going to come inspect and make sure all your daycares are up and up. So, they're going to check employee logs, they're going to check attendance rosters, things like that. But how fucking dare one of you MAGA motherfuckers break into a Somali daycare, not caught on camera, and you only steal employment and attendance records from their files in their office. Wait, that's the only thing they stole? Not the computer? Not TVs? That's kind of weird.
Good morning. My name is Nasrullah Mohammed. That is spelled NASRULAHMOHAMED. I'm the manager at Nokomis Daycare Center, and today I want to talk about what happened yesterday. Yesterday morning, I was called by the owner because, unfortunately, someone came in to our daycare. The cleaner called the owner and told him what happened and the vandalism that happened. The owner called us. Me and another manager came into the scene around 6 a.m. We looked.
Your cleaner comes and cleans around 5:30 in the morning? That seems like an odd time to clean.
And saw what happened, and we saw that
The suspect came in from the back, broke in from the back kitchen, and he also destroyed the wall to come in. As he came in, he broke a door from the wall from Family Dollar from the side. He couldn't, unfortunately, we don't know that he went in or not, but we saw that it was damaged. As we walked around the daycare, we saw that
We didn't know if he went in or not, but we saw it was damaged.
our office doors was broken into as well. We saw that, unfortunately, we saw that there was important documentation, enrollment of the children, and also employee documentation that was gone. Our office doors was broken into as well. We saw that, unfortunately, we saw that there was important documentation, enrollment of the children, and also employee documentation that was gone.
Why would thieves want to steal just those documents? That's crazy. I wonder. Why just those?
There were also checkbooks that were ripped from our check papers that were ripped from our book.
Oh,
This is devastating.
and your check register had pages torn out of it. That would show that you were payments? That's... I don't know. I'm just imagining all this.
Devastating news, and we don't know why this is targeting.
And if you look on the back, that bitch's sign says racism.
Video made by a specific individual made this all happen.
Oh,
We've been receiving
he's blaming the fact that his daycare was broken into. All the records were stolen on Nick Shirley.
hateful messages through our voice notes threatening us for the past couple of days, including one that happened yesterday morning when the break-in, after the break-in.
I hope all these daycares leer from this lesson.
This is happening to us Somali communities as Somali Americans. We are supposed to stand with each other and help each other through everything that's happening. This is also sad that a video can cause all of this.
Cause what? Y'all getting caught? Listen, guys, this is not just Minnesota taxpayers being wasted here. This is federal tax dollars, right? If they're going to steal my money and then give it to people that are stealing it, that means they're stealing from me, because the government is basically like Robin Hood.
Of daycares out there, Somali daycares that are out there, and we all help our children and everyone in our community. We have high quality daycares, and this is very sad news that
high quality daycares, and when you listen to all the news reports, how many of them were shut down or have code violations?
Individual who made a false claim about fraud that is happening in the daycares, how engaged everyone else to come and do this to us. We are not a part of any harmful things that are being said. We have no problem with CCAP, and our licensing has been good, even the inspections. I want to say no intimidation is going to stop us from what is happening and upguiding our community. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Mary Solheim, and that is spelled M-A-R-Y S-O-L-H-E-I-M. And I'm a child care provider in Maplewood.
Cute.
I'm here today to support Nokomis, the child care center, the teachers, the families, and their children. What happened
What the fuck is CCAP?
here is absolutely unthinkable. And it is the direct result of the inflammatory rhetoric coming from the constant barrage of harassment from not only the current federal administration, but half of our Minnesota legislators as well. But now a random YouTube personality can cause this much fear. Fear needs to stop. Our children, our families, and teachers and providers work hard enough without feeling scared to come to work every single day. What happened here underscores that there is reason to be scared. We heard last night that the federal government that is complicit in this rhetoric is freezing our child care funding for the entire state of Minnesota under the guise of rooting out fraud. This has to stop. It is dangerous and people are getting hurt. Our child care assistance program that relies on federal funding serves over 20,000 kids in over 4,000 programs. Has anyone considered what happens when 20,000 kids can't get access to child care?
You know, I was just thinking, like, if all these healthcare facilities are receiving millions of dollars, I didn't mean healthcare, childcare facilities are getting millions of dollars. Why is childcare so expensive? They're getting paid millions of dollars, yet healthcare is still expensive. They're not paying anything if they're getting millions of dollars for like 29 kids, 30 kids, 80 kids. That's a scam in itself.
That's 20,000 kids whose parents can't go to work. That's 4,000 child care programs whose teachers aren't getting paid. That's entire communities that will soon be shut down. I know the Minnesota child care system inside and out. I know how incredibly difficult it is to commit fraud in the child care assistance program. I also know that our child care providers, who are of Somali descent, are being racially targeted because I have witnessed it firsthand.
Have you?
We want the state to catch child care centers committing fraud. We want them to be held accountable. It hurts all of us. It hurts children especially, and it hurts child care centers that are working tirelessly to provide high-quality child care. But fraud does occur across race, across income, and across geography.
Okay. So you should be happy that they found fraud. But it's about race. Never mind there was fraud. This is about race.
Few child care centers that serve white children commit fraud.
See?
Do we decide that every child care center that serves white children is committing fraud?
Yes.
No.
Until the investigation is over, yes.
The Somali child care community deserves that same respect. This federal administration is actively targeting our Somali neighbors and friends, who are the backbone of their communities and an integral part of our larger communities. They are our teachers, doctors, business owners, and child care providers. Their child care centers are the hubs of their communities. Families rely on them for care and counsel, and they go above and beyond when their families need help. And they are being treated as pawns in a political game, a very dangerous game, and it needs to stop. And I have a message for my sisters and brothers in childcare. Thank you for your service, and thank you for being here to love our kids.
My name is Sadia Aden.
See, racism has no place in childcare. You're right. But this isn't about racism. It's not. Stop the lies, restore the funds. But they're not lies. The proof is out there. Other news organizations did their own investigation and found out, holy shit, Nick was right. Even CNN fucked around and found out.
parent of Nokomis Childcare. I have not seen any problem before this time in the child care center. I'm a working parent, and I bring my kids here.
Yo, she's lying.
And now I cannot bring my kids anymore because they are too scared. And I don't have anyone to.
Wait. You can't bring your kids anymore because they're too scared? Scared of what? Those daycare centers are secure.
Be home with the kids while I go to work. And I would like the person who did this heinous crime to be caught. As of recently, as we are driving down the streets in our city, in our safe homes, we are being targeted and being called out names and being accused of crimes that we have not committed.
Oh. Oh. Almost as if they, they get called racist, white supremacists, Nazis. Suddenly it's a bad thing. Make that one makes. I hate that fucking phrase so goddamn much.
And whoever commits crime should be caught. I support the government in doing accountability.
So she's glad the government's going to do accountability. But they're mad right now because they're trying to find the fraud and trying to hold people accountable. That's okay.
Bringing our kids will be very tough with more and more of this hate crimes happening in our city.
I haven't heard any hate crimes yet. The only hate crimes I've seen are against white YouTubers.
As a working parent, my kids come here with the support of the government, and the parents right now don't have a support system to leave their kids at home.
Remember, the Somali community is one big family. That's what they keep saying.
As a working parent, I don't think that we can leave kids at home, and I don't think that is right. But having the government say that they are cutting support will be very hurtful, and it will be hard for us to continue working and providing for our families. Being a Somali American, I was always told that it is safe here and you are welcomed here, and this is no longer the story that I feel and my kids feel. And I request that our government supports our child care centers and stop this heinous crime and this hate that's happening around our state. Thank you. Hi, my name is...
Safety provider, safety for kids. Safety for provider, safety for kids. I don't get that one. Minnesota's families deserve better. Minnesota's families do deserve better. All of Minnesota's families deserve better. Not just Somali. Not the ones that are getting caught for fraud. Where's an audit? Shouldn't the government do audits on daycare facilities, random inspections? There's logs for that, right? At least check every 6 months to make sure everybody's still current on CPR. That's a number one for a daycare facility.
Amina Adan, Aminaaadan. I am reading this speech on behalf of a Somali child care provider who's receiving threats every day. Like nearly every Somali child care provider in the state, it is too dangerous for them to speak personally. So thank you for understanding. I want to express my outrage, sadness, and frustration in what is happening to our community. I am heartbroken at what happened at Nokomis, and I am angry. I am angry because there's no reason for things like this to be this way. Somali child care providers are being used in a political game.
They are
being hurt in the political game. The state is funding and prosecuting fraud, whether in childcare or other industries.
What's wrong with that?
The new surge in enforcement is causing trauma to our community entirely, and especially our precious children. In our culture, lying is a great offense.
No, it's not.
It makes it even more difficult to understand why.
Wrong. Lying to each other is a great offense.
Why a video that is full of misinformation is what is promoting our federal government, the one that is supposed to be for our people, by the people, and for the people, to freeze child care funding in our state. This will impact thousands of people. People will lose their jobs and hold their homes.
You're right.
Those who are
Daycare
committing
workers.
fraud need to be held accountable. We can do that without terrorizing a whole community. The majority of our child cares, Somali child care centers, are very hardworking to provide high-quality child care to our children in our communities, just like most of the other non-Somali child care centers. We love those children like they are our own. We care for those children like they are our own. And we love following all the rules and regulations set by the state, and yet because we are Somali, we are being targeted and accused of fraud. It is very frightening the last few days in our community. Minnesota licensing and regulation requires us to keep our doors controlled and not allow anyone unauthorized to come in. When two people come to the door asking, "Where are the children?" providers have the rightfully denied them access. Can you imagine if two Somali men knocked on the doors of a child care center with mostly white children and demanded, "Where are the children?"
Well,
They would
that's
be
only the
arrested
part of
immediately.
it. It's because you guys couldn't answer questions, and then when they showed you where the money is, and you say, "This is how many kids you have," we haven't seen anybody come in and out. I'm not saying that they're looking for the children. Wow. Why is it every time "where are the children" question comes up, it gets ignored? That phrase seems to turn a deaf ear. You know why? Where are the 500,000 missing children? Where are those children? And they want you to believe that was a lie. It's a recycled excuse that they're going to try and twist. Interesting.
Community is tired of being used. We want our lives peacefully, contributing to our larger communities and the state of Minnesota. We want our children to grow up loved and safe. Are we not entitled as humans to that safety? Thank you. If you have any questions.
For the manager of this facility, a couple Republican lawmakers have already either said or insinuated that they believe this was a made-up vandalism to get attention. I'm wondering what your response would be to that.
This is not made up. You can see what happened here. I believe that people show hate towards us because of what one person said. One person's opinion can't change what everyone is doing. Look what happened to us. We wouldn't do this for no reason, for attention.
Oh,
We're just showing you.
I'm not
that
gonna
what
say
happened
anything
to
because
us is real.
but a lot of other creators, to include PBD and all of them, are telling me these glasses, these are like $2,000-$3,000 glasses. $2,000 or $3,000 glasses. A daycare worker can afford that much.
And yesterday was our daycare. Tomorrow might be someone else's. We don't know. So this has to stop.
Could you also respond to, there's a spokesperson for the police department told us that it was reported that there was no loss and that nothing was taken. Is that incorrect? Like, was nothing reported that was taken? What was the situation there?
The police officer came in the morning. We told him what happened, and we told him that from what we see, we haven't seen.
They have a daycare facility, right? So there's cameras, right? Right?
Like,
especially if you're being broken into.
In that moment, we were all worried about what was damaged and everything. We told him that we're going to check everything out. We're going to call him back, and we're going to tell him that what's taken.
Oh.
Yes.
So did the cops ever show up? Wait, did the cops ever show up?
They were from what we've seen, we haven't seen, like, from in the position that we were in that moment, we were all worried about what was damaged and everything. We told him that we're going to check everything out. We're going to call him back, and we're going to tell him that what's taken.
So there were things taken?
Yes.
And you did call them back to tell them there were things taken?
Yes, we did.
You characterized the person who came in as him. Do you have any clues as to who this person was, and are you worried about the sensitive information that was taken?
Oh. I didn't catch that. That reporter's pretty smart.
We don't know the exact person. We just saw from the security camera from our neighboring store. We saw maybe an individual or two. We haven't seen. We've seen an image like walking around. So I'm just saying him or her because of what I saw, and I'm not saying that.
So there's two. You should have said them.
The child care information that you're saying was taken, the information of parents and children.
Of course.
Their home addresses.
Who wouldn't be worried? So we are getting to the bottom of it.
And what time can you clarify, like, that this happened? I know just a lot of, it's like Sunday night, Monday morning, like.
The break-in.
Yeah.
This happened around yesterday, midnight. After from 3 a.m. until 6, somewhere in between.
For the mom who's here, I wonder if you can talk about what it was like for you to hear that your family's information might have been taken.
That's funny. They didn't mention that until the question.
last time waxaan daawanayay dad gurigooda inta loogu tagay la dilay taasaaba ka baqanaa inaynu ku dhacdo oo gurigana lagu soo jabiyo laga dilo anagoo horba.
She said, I forgot to mention that with all the trauma, but I am very scared, just like we've already seen, that public officials have been come to their house and killed and murdered for no reason. And I feel many of our parents...
Public officials had people come to their house and murdered for no reason. Melissa Hortman. It wasn't for no reason, because now it's getting exposed.
My kids see what's on the news and they are reading and they are asking me, what can we do now that they know our information and our home addresses?
I doubt a kid said that there's in daycare.
How many children from Tinocomas, and how long you all have been in operation, just like to paint a picture of?
We've been running the daycare since 2016, and about the information of the daycare, I don't want to disclose that to the media and everything. I just want to keep it to our personal agenda and everything. Thank you very much.
Is daycare still open?
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
And who all is here today? Is this like a mixture of parents, of
Yeah,
students,
our community.
and then just other community members? who
Yes,
wanted to
our
show up?
community, yes. We're all standing with each other.
Bro, look at these fake ass motherfucking white people in the background. You got this bitch right here who's trying to have that whole "I'm so sad, this is disgusting, can't believe this is happening to them." Then you got this motherfucker. "Oh my god, I need my choi sai latte, mocha cappuccino palooka mocha chico," whatever the fuck that shit is from Starbucks. Then again, he doesn't want to buy from Starbucks right now because they're not paying their employees $35,000 an hour. And then you got this bitch right here. I think that's a woman. We're gonna go with that. Ooh, I'm not so sure now. I wonder how much they're getting paid to be there.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for
Now listen. I'm not doubting that the place got broken into. But I am doubting that it was somebody that was against you guys. It was you. It was you and your family. It's just suspicious that when you know they're coming to investigate, actually they're already there, but your shit just gets broken into, and the only things that were really stolen were documents. And the fact that their information was stolen was the last thing on your guys' mind until the reporter said something. Crazy.
There are wait lists for these programs that are years long. There is fraud. There is.
We got some Freudian
Fraud
slips.
is bad.
What the heck was that? When I first saw that clip, my jaw dropped. Unbelievably bizarre. Because it sure seems like she realized she said something she
Why
shouldn't
look like
have.
every
So I
Somali
dove
has
in to
tiny
find out
hands?
what really happened here.
Male
Let's
and
back
female.
up. We're at this press conference of daycare providers, state legislators, and parents upset about funding getting cut off.
Let's be honest about how we really got here. Our president decided he doesn't like the Somali community and he wants to destroy them.
Okay.
It might have had something to do with a certain Nick Shirley video, but okay.
In order to distract Minnesotans from his unpopularity, his failed tariffs and rising prices,
Actually, he's got a 50% approval rating, and his tariffs are actually starting to work.
his corruption, he's attacking and defunding Minnesota.
Yeah, Orange Man bad, we get it. Anyway, what happened here? Because it doesn't really make any sense. Let's take a look at this woman, a parent who receives federal funding.
Good morning, everyone. I'm not much of a good speaker, but I'll try my best.
But you're in medical school.
Over 20,000 kids will lose access to child care programs. And that, sorry, that 20,000, thousands of children rely on child care, and thousands of parents rely on child care. Therefore, if child care will, oh my God. I'm currently a medical student.
Okay.
If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad.
What? What? Even the white lady. Oh, fuck. Look at the white lady in the back. She's like, híjole.
I understand fraud is bad.
And it did help that she stopped and did that. But you're a medical student.
So you can see she was pretty nervous and off balance in her remarks from the start. If you want to be generous, she may have misinterpreted what she read in her cloud of anxiety. If you don't want to be generous, then her anxiety revealed a dark truth that she didn't mean to. But it was written down, so I'm not so sure about that. Now, as for this care provider,
I'm a little nervous to be here today with you all. Deco just let me know that she had to skip school today and she just got emotional being here. And I feel like we all are feeling that same way. Like it's just the emotion.
I'm sorry, if I'm in medical school, I'm not gonna skip a day. Wasn't this on a Saturday?
Are right there. We believe that every child deserves access to high quality early learning.
sorry to interrupt, but I think you mean high quality leering.
It's not right. And I'm emotional too, so I apologize. I'm doing my best. And I do see some signs over here that say stop fraud, and I agree, stop it. There are wait lists for these programs that are years long. There is fraud, the fraud that is occurring is not at the hands of families. We need to be looking at who's in power.
You know, I have to say I agree with her there. These viral clips were likely due to non-public speakers being nervous about public speaking, but I think we can safely say
I don't know.
they made everyone
The med student's supposed to be stoic.
look worse.
Just saying. What they forgot to mention, which I thought was kind of weird, is that one Somali lady had from what they were, who said it? PBD? A 6-carat pear-shaped diamond. Wow. A low-end one is $8,000. Let me look that up. Because I think a low-end one is actually way more, but there is a... How do I go back? So apparently there's lab-grown diamonds, which run from $8K to $20,000. Medical student who can't afford daycare. Natural diamond. Low end, $40,000. High end, $240,000. Either way, $8,000. Was it real? Who knows? Just like that daycare worker's $2,000 sunglasses. What's this last one? Okay. So this last one, it is from Miami, I believe. And James Klug is interviewing two people on the street who think America should be run like this. Only problem is they're not even American. Oh, wrong one. Almost ended the stream on accident.
What do you say? What are your thoughts about the ICE raids happening right now in New Orleans?
Well, isn't that obvious what I think about it?
People have different positions, different takes, whatever it may be. I would say a lot of people have varying degrees of thoughts on immigration raids, immigration enforcement, and all of that. Are you from New Orleans?
Part-time.
Part-time. Where are you from otherwise?
Europe.
Europe, right on. And then, are you American or European?
I'm European.
Okay, and you're here protesting immigration enforcement in the U.S.?
I'm protesting against what's happening in this country because
You don't even live here.
that divides the whole world.
What country are you from?
Yeah, tell me, I mean, as a European, could you weigh in on kind of the impact that's having on Europe? How is that dividing the whole world in your view?
Ever heard of Ukraine?
Yes.
Okay, that's my answer.
Huh?
That's one of the things.
What does Ukraine have to do with ICE? Bro. They're outsourcing protesters, and the protesters are just as dumb as the Americans.
Greenland,
Well, I'm sorry, what about Greenland?
Greenland.
Yes.
Okay.
What about it?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, oh, sorry. What are you trying to say about it?
Well, you ask me.
It's a strategic place that would help the U.S. because if we put a base there, we control those shipping lanes.
What Trump is doing in Europe, and my answer is Greenland.
No, I'm so sorry. I maybe I didn't speak clearly. I was more of talking about, you're talking about the division across the world, and I was saying, what are you referring to? But you're just referring to, okay, you just don't.
I'm not here from here, but no National Guard on our streets.
We're talking about what Trump's doing. Greenland, Ukraine. Yeah, for sure. And then your thoughts on immigration enforcement in the United States. Do you have a problem with them deporting people in the country illegally?
Yeah. No human is illegal. And it's racist.
So when it comes to, I
You
guess
think
this
Poland's
is
racist?
educational for a lot of people watching. When
You think Poland's racist? Curious. Are you from Poland?
it comes to your position, what do you think the punishment should be for entering the country illegally? Should there be no punishment at all? Anybody can come over the border.
As far as I'm concerned, everyone's welcome everywhere.
Everyone's welcome everywhere. Yeah. Do you support any form of screening process at the southern border or anything like that?
No human is illegal.
Okay. And so how do you prevent, let's say, a gang member or a terrorist or something like that comes to the country? Do you support screening processes to try to eliminate that?
You ask me if I support terrorism?
Well, I'm talking about the logistics behind, screening who comes into the country, what comes into the country.
Well, we all got to fight against crime and against terrorism.
Just
but
deal
it's
with
an
it.
international thing.
Just deal with it when it comes into the country, though?
Yeah, wherever they are.
Yo, if terrorism's not in the United States, how do you think they get here? You stupid fuck. Same way you got here. Except I'm pretty sure you did it legally. But you live part-time here, part-time in Europe. Find it a little hard to believe.
Question for you guys. Have you ever Googled yourself and found how much personal? Put a link down in the description below.
You're also European?
Another one.
Okay, and you're also protesting immigration enforcement in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Interesting dynamic here we got. Is this the first protest you guys have been to?
No.
No.
Wait.
And how'd you hear about the demonstration, the protest?
A foreigner protesting ICE. That's been to more than one?
Tonight.
What media are you from?
James Klug on YouTube. I have conversations. Me? I'm more conservative, yeah.
You're more conservative.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I talk to anybody.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, what do you think about this dynamics here?
Well, first, we try to highlight polite, good conversations, fact-based conversations, and just give people educational conversations to watch, at home. You said the question to me was, what do I think about it?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, when it comes to what, immigration enforcement, people being deported.
What they're doing here in the streets of New Orleans?
Do I have a problem with it, deporting people in the country illegally? In a general sense, no.
Okay.
But that's because it's against the law, and when you enforce those laws, you end up preventing people from coming. People don't even try to come into the country because they already know that it's being enforced. It's kind of like pulling people over for speeding, right? If you pull people over for speeding, they don't speed as often, So in a general sense, to answer your question, I don't have a problem with it.
Well, I have a problem that they pick up people off the street and raiding streets and getting people off the streets just based on how
Now you're getting people off the streets. Granted, stop the police.
look.
Well, on their immigration status would be why they would remove them from the streets.
Yeah, but you
My camera guy right here is, he's Hispanic, but he's not getting deported. You know what I mean?
No, but there are people that are.
Oh, that are Americans that are being deported?
Yeah.
Can you name one?
I cannot name one because
there isn't any.
But you hear the stories about people not knowing where they are, and they're somewhere in Africa when they're from Asia or whatever.
Well, it's a really big claim. Do you think
Any
it is
American
important that we
citizen that's
are able to
deported does not exist.
back up a big claim like that with at least one example or some facts? Because that's obviously a huge claim that you're making there.
You know how they operate like it. There's a war going on.
But did you hear what I said, though? Like, do you think before you say, maybe you could say, I think, instead of they are?
I think they are.
You think they are? And then the next question would be, okay, who, right?
Everybody, no human is illegal, so
right.
So people are not illegal. I don't really believe in borders, so that's
You don't believe in borders?
You don't believe in borders, huh?
How do you prevent bad people from coming into somebody's country?
Everybody's got to need a place to live, so if everybody can live wherever they want.
Why aren't you
What about,
protesting other
let's say,
countries that have
Tren de
borders?
Aragua
Huh? Middle East. Eastern Europe. You should go do that. Unless you're from Ukraine, then you totally understand. Maybe they're from Ukraine.
gang members. How do you, if you don't have a border, how do you stop those people from coming in?
They go to prison wherever they are in the country.
So you wait for them to break a law in a country instead of just preventing them from coming in the first place?
Yeah.
Does that seem reasonable? Yeah, that's very, well, hold on. That's very interesting. And I appreciate you being honest with me. First and foremost, thank you. When it comes to no borders, when it comes to a country, at least in the United States, right? The federal government's primary job is to protect the American people. Does that seem like you're protecting the American people if you're not preventing a terrorist from coming into the country? Isn't that failing at isn't that them failing at doing their job?
What is a border? It's originally, this was just one world with people living in it. And we...
Except for China wanted a border. Matter of fact, they built a giant border.
We created all these borders and we created bad environments for people who live in poor countries and good circumstances for people who live in rich countries. Why are you so privileged? Why are you born? You were born in the USA? If you're born in poor Africa and you want to move to Europe.
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite like a random turnout quite like that, right? Millions of Americans have fought and died for the freedoms that we have here. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's just totally random that it happened that way, right? You had geniuses that crafted the Constitution. You had millions of Americans that lost their lives fighting to preserve those rights. So it's not very random, is it?
Well, it used to be different, It started all out with just one people.
Would you like to go back to that?
Why are you different to another person? That's my basic idea, Why am I different? Why am I more privileged than another person?
Well, we don't own Mexico's territory. Mexico doesn't own our territory. We don't own. Where are you guys from?
The Netherlands.
Netherlands. We don't own the Netherlands. Netherlands doesn't own us, or something like that. So it is. A country is their people, and by definition, they have a border. But that's very interesting. How would you like to go about eliminating borders?
I know it's naive, and I know it's maybe not possible now.
Okay.
But I think it's the basic right of every human being to have a good life and search for that. Yeah. So if you're in poor Africa, you go to Europe, and we push you out. We say you go back, or you drown in the Mediterranean.
Okay.
That's not fair. He's as human as I am.
Doesn't the U.S. government, the purpose that it serves is to improve the life of its citizens? Your country's government.
You've got a responsibility worldwide.
We have a responsibility for everybody.
No, we don't.
Everybody has a responsibility for their neighbors.
So why are they just coming to the U.S.?
Live among them. So
Why does
we're one people.
Why is that?
We're one people. We have no more rights than anybody.
How come nobody goes to Belize?
Lives in Mexico or live in Uganda.
We have way more rights than a lot of those people. In fact, in a lot of countries, let's say, in a lot of countries, it's legal to beat your wife, or you can't own guns, or they don't have a First Amendment. In fact,
and if they want to flee that, they cannot go anywhere because we have borders.
Oh well, I mean, when it comes to fleeing a country, you can flee to a neighboring country.
No. Oh, if you want to die in the Mediterranean, if you want to, it's very hard to flee a country because you don't agree with how your life is there.
I'm sorry. What's your point? So they can't do it?
No, you don't have the freedom. You don't have the wealth. You don't have the means
Yo,
to go from Africa.
this is about ICE. Why do we care about them crossing the Mediterranean into fucking Europe? Why don't you go back there and help them?
Europe, to go from Mexico to the United States. You don't have the means, so it's not possible.
It comes
From
to,
Europe
I'm
to
so
Mexico
curious
to the
your thoughts
United
on this. I mean,
States?
when it comes to resources in the United States, we have massive social programs. A ton of Western countries have massive social programs, right?
I know we're gonna get poorer if we say, oh, everybody's welcome. But then everybody gets the same amount of poverty, and you get,
Oh, so you'd prefer that instead of just
Socially.
I don't know why I'm more privileged than any other person.
Because you think you are?
Cameroon.
Would you like to see the United States become, overall more poor? But hey, great, they allow everybody in.
I think,
as a person that's not an American?
All over the world, we should have the same rights and the same ways to improve your own lives. But not, that division of rich countries, poor countries, rich people, poor people,
You're saying the same rights?
millionaires and people here on the streets. I don't believe in that.
What about different cultures? They demand different rights in different countries, different regions of the world.
Cultures are there for a reason. They grew in the centuries. And it will mix more and it will get more even. If I know
Wait.
my neighbor,
If she's privileged and she doesn't believe we should have rich people, why is she not poor looking? She's immigrated. She's not American, but she's living here in the United States. And she doesn't look like she is bad off. She looks like she's well off, as a matter of fact. So what if I need $50? I'm brown. I need $50. Equity.
neighbors come into my country, I get to know them. We're all one people.
And what would you say to the people that, hey, somebody entered the country illegally and killed their son? What would you say to people like that, where they're saying, oh, well, the Border Patrol was supposed to do their job in preventing those people from coming into the country that ended up hurting my child? What would you say to them? Just say, hey, that's how life works, or what?
There are plenty of Americans who killed people's sons.
I'm talking about people that aren't supposed to be in the country in the first place, though. They entered illegally.
That's
Dealing
with you. They're not supposed to be here, and that's people have no choice. They have to stay where they are, and then we blame them for who they are.
Well, you always have a choice not to break the law.
Yep.
Don't you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, she doesn't believe in laws, apparently. Everybody should be the same.
I keep coming back to the same point that I believe everybody should have the same rights to be wherever they want.
Do you think this is a realistic position to hold today?
No, absolutely not.
What if all these Americans that hate America want to move to Europe? Is Europe going to be that accepting of American citizens? What if American citizens want to go to African countries, like Niger, who says, no, we don't want Americans? What about that? They can't go to Niger. But at that point, we have to abide by their borders and their rules, their laws. Are you going to talk about that? Probably not, because nobody from the United States wants to go to Niger, and I don't think I've ever heard anybody wanted to go there to fucking vacation. Why don't we talk about that?
Is this sort of a utopian
barred
argument
America.
or position that we have here?
Well, I don't believe in that anybody should be richer than anybody else. So that everybody should have the same means of existence, and millionaires shouldn't be here because it's not fair.
I bet you love George Soros.
I believe in one people, everybody's got the same possibilities and the same rights. And
Yeah. There's a lot of countries that have tried to do stuff like that, where it's just, hey, even the playing fields, and a lot of times that takes massive governmental control to go about pushing the policies that you're talking about right there.
And then they get corrupt, and then they want more than
Naturally, because humans corrupt, right? That's one thing that's always going to be a problem, huh?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
All right.
So I'm naive. I believe in everybody's got the same rights, and everybody should be able to live wherever they want, and I don't believe in borders.
You don't believe in that?
That's it.
Well, hopefully we don't have the same rights as places like in Iran,
Well, Iran, they're very...
Like, I don't want their rights.
No, but
I like my rights. I think my rights are better. But you know, it's a different.
In Iran, so you know what daily life there is like.
Right.
Because so you know what.
I think my rights are better, but you know, it's a different.
In Iran, so you know what daily life there is like.
Right.
Because we've got a famous journalist in the Netherlands who's got an Iranian wife, and he loves his life in Iran. And
He has an Iranian wife. Does he live with his wife in Iran? Or do they live in Europe? Does she live in Europe? Free from the oppression? I don't think they live in Iran. Especially a Western journalist.
his wife as well. You know, it's a very rich culture, so you cannot simply judge that as being.
You can't judge like maybe some Middle Eastern cultures where it's like okay to beat your wife. You want to judge those?
Yeah, I do. But you know, that's why I say everybody should have the same rights. Women, men.
Yeah. Do you want the same women's rights as they have in Iran? I'll pronounce it properly.
But, you know, it will even out when everybody influences everybody. But when you lock
so you
them
don't
up
want
in the
you don't want everybody to have their rights though.
Yep.
Whose rights do we want to share across the board?
Everybody should have the same rights.
They get to pick and choose what rights they want.
Black, white, whatever. Yeah.
So what if the Muslims think they should impose their rights? Everybody has the same rights. And with Islam supposedly being the fastest growing religion in the world, that could be bad. Could be bad. Isn't that why we had the Crusades? Isn't that why we had the Crusades? Weird. Weird. Even Dracula had it right. Anyway, so we talked about Venezuela and how I think this raid was planned, especially with the way that video came out. And from previous reports to where they were trying to figure out exit strategies for Maduro. And this was the United States trying to figure out an exit strategy for Maduro if they did have a conflict. So this is kind of interesting. And not only did they take Maduro, right, they took his wife. I mean, wouldn't they have just taken him? What's his wife gonna do? Wait a minute. So they took him and his wife, keeping the family together. And I believe they're on the USS Okajima, something like that. One of those Japanese ones. On the way back to the United States. Should be in New York, right? I'm just curious. Is this trial all going to be for show anyway? They're just going to let him witness protection. That's smart. He'll be under protection 24/7. So even if Venezuelan gang members tried to assassinate him, it's probably not going to be likely. And you know they're not going to put him in Gen Pop. They're going to put him in some fucking triple max security prison like the one in fucking Colorado. Right? If they even put him in prison. Why would they bring his wife if they were just going to let her, hang out without him while he's in jail? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope you enjoyed what we had for you today. By we, I mean me. And I'm not telling you how to think. It's a little retarded to do that. But now you know some of the things I thought and think. And, well, you either like it or you don't. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not telling you how to think. I think I already said that. I'm just telling you to think. And,